paid for by Robin Gwaltney. Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. It's Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM, and time to chat with Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Good morning, Robin.
Well, good morning. It's always a pleasure.
Always, yes. And of course, this program is talking about real estate, the Rochester area real estate market.
Well, that's what we're supposed to talk about. Sometimes we get sidetracked, but yeah, it's typically about real estate.
You know, and knowing what's going on out there, obviously, from our chats every week, and it's obviously a seller's market. So I've talked to so many folks who have said, gosh, this is the time to sell, but then they also go, okay, but then what am I going to do?
Yeah, where am I going to go?
Is that what you're also hearing out there?
It is. And, one of the articles that I explored for this week's show actually talks about diving deep into today's biggest buyer concerns. And I was actually a little bit surprised to find out that 64% of people being surveyed think it's a bad time to buy.
Huh.
And it is not true. And so I want to kind of, tell people why that's not true. Now, 77% of the people that are being surveyed think it's a good time to sell. And yes, it is a good time to sell. So then people say, how can it be a good time to sell and a good time to buy? But it's true. Okay?
Okay.
So the people who are concerned about buying are saying, well, geez, last year the interest rates were down to 2.65. Now they're already up to 2.9.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. And home prices have increased by 15% over the last year. Yes, they have. But now here's the news flash. They're not going to go down. Okay, so economists think that in 2022, they're going to go up by approximately another 5%. So you can either buy them now while they're 15% higher than they were last year, or you can wait until next year when they're another 5% higher.
Yeah, and then the interest rates might even be higher next year.
And the interest rates I say they will be, okay? So I say that the prediction, and we talked about this last week, I think, the prediction for the interest rates is, by this time next year, maybe 3.2%. And I have even read some economists think by the end of next year, 4.2%. And let me tell you what, 4.2% is nothing to cry about, okay? But if you're worried that you don't want to buy now because you missed 2.65 and now it's 2.9, well, then you can wait until next year when prices have gone up an additional 5% and interest rates have gone up an additional 1% or 1.5%. So truth be told, it's a good time to buy.
Yeah, when you explain it that way.
Yeah, so I really, and another thing, another article that I read that I think ties closely to this, Andy, it was titled, Consumers Still Overestimate Down Payment Requirements, okay? Yep. So people are still under the assumption that they've got to have 20% down to buy a house. Well, with prices going up at the rate they're going up, 20% is no little amount. When you're buying a $300,000, $400,000 house, if you've got to have 20%, I can see where that would scare some people off.
But most people aren't walking in just putting down cash. You're talking about the equity you already have.
Well, I'm talking about like buying a new home, like what percentage down they need. So they're afraid to buy because they feel like, oh, geez, I can't afford a house right now because I don't have 20% down. We all know that there are programs out there. There are VA loans and FHA loans that have, VA loans with 0% down, FHA loans with down payment assistance. We have here in our Rochester market doctor loans where doctors can get loans for 0% down. So, that's coming out of medical school,
sure.
Doing your residency, having the ability to repay, but just not having the funds stocked up because you've been in school for the last 10 years. So, there are definitely loan products out there to help people, and get over the idea that you have to have 20% down, because that's just not the case. So if you're thinking about buying a house and that's what's holding you back, please call a lender, have a conversation with the lender. And if you don't know of a trustworthy lender to have that conversation with, reach out to me and I'll put you in touch with somebody.
And I think in our past talks about this topic, I think even if you're buying in some of the smaller communities around here in the more rural areas, there's even programs specifically set up for those type loan situations as well.
There definitely are, because they want to push people out into those rural communities. So there are products that are just for rural properties where, again, there is down payment assistance that comes with those loans and,
right,
better rates. So, yeah, there are some really good opportunities out there.
And even if you had to go with the FHA and get the, what is it called, mortgage insurance?
Yes. Yeah.
The way things are going, you're going to reach your your equity needs a lot faster than I did when I bought my home to erase those payments.
That is such a good point. And that's what people, and that's one of the things that is going to save us, after going through this pandemic. One of the things that's going to save us from having like a surge in foreclosures is that even those people that did opt to not pay their payments and now add that amount to the back end, right? Even if now they're going to get back into the swing of things and make those payments, well, they're not sitting like with no equity because their prices have gone up. Like I said, 15.4% over the past year. So they've got that much more equity in the home. So I think those things paired together is really going to help a lot of people stay out of losing their home. So that's a good thing.
Do you ever run into the scenario where a person has been in a home, not the 3 to 5 years, but more like 10, 12, 15 years, and so they've already built up sizable equity in this home?
Yeah. And
then they're not at the end of their mortgage, but they're the tail end of their mortgage, and their mortgage is probably a higher interest rate at this point, 4, 5, 5.5%.
Right.
Does it ever, I'm just thinking in my head about this when you were talking earlier, that it might actually work out really well if they were able to take that much equity, put it towards a much nicer home, and then with the current interest rates, you might be able to make it so their overall length of their mortgage may not be much longer than what it was previously.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is, sometimes people are really surprised at how much even time they can shave off by just refinancing it and changing it by, a couple of percent.
Yeah. You could actually get yourself into a much more home.
Yes. And what I want to tell people who think it's not a good time to buy, what is your other option if you're not buying?
Renting.
Typically it's renting, right? So far in 2021, rental prices, get ready for this, have grown a staggering 9.2%. Okay? So just to put that in context, previous year's growth from January to July is more like 2%.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So we're talking, if you're paying $1,000 a month, now you're at $1,100 a month.
So if you want to keep renting, I'm just going to tell you your rental payments are just going to go up, up, and up. And, for some people, renting is the way they want to do it, and that's fine. I mean, I know it works for some people. But if it's because you think you're going to save more money so that you can buy a house next year, keep in mind, as your rent goes up, there's probably less to save. And then as the price of the house goes up, you need more. And as the interest rates go up, you need more. So I guess in a nutshell, it is most definitely a good time to buy, regardless of what 64% of those surveyed may think.
Okay. So I was reading the Wall Street Journal earlier in the week, and it kind of caught me by surprise. They had an article about just how far lumber prices have dropped after skyrocketing just a couple months ago.
Oh my gosh, I read that article too. And do you know what is crazy is, all right, let's see, I actually have the article. July futures ended Tuesday at $5.99 per 1,000 board feet. This is down nearly 2/3 from a high of $1,711.20.
Oh, it was that high
in May.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, check this out. More actively traded futures for September delivery settled at $649.90, which is only $10.90 above the pre-pandemic high for lumber.
Wow. So that happened a lot faster than I ever thought it would.
Okay, but I'm going to tell you something. It's the secret. And the reason I say that is because there are builders out there that are going to probably try to recapture some profit because they had some houses bid out before the lumber went crazy. And so they built some houses with a very narrow profit margin. Sure. Okay. And so I think that they're going to hope to build some houses with a little bigger profit margin to kind of offset that. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that is. So hopefully we will be seeing some more normalcy in new construction prices, but I don't think it's going to happen as fast as those prices have dropped.
But you know how that's going to work is there'll be one builder who will go, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this and put in a lower bid.
You got it. And so that's the good old,
marketplace at work.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Okay. So one thing that I would like to do today, Andy, is I have one of our new team members with us.
Oh, okay.
Jeff Leland, and I'd like you to spend a little bit of time speaking with Jeff and letting Jeff introduce himself and tell the listeners about what he has to offer, because we're super excited about having him on the team, and I think that you'll find it interesting to have a chat with Jeff.
Okay. Well, we'll do that right after this quick break.
Awesome.
All right, Jeff Leland coming up right after this on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Pork chops, his coat.
Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back, everybody. Instead of Robin, we're talking with Jeff Leland, who's also with Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Andy. How are you?
I am doing well. So I understand, I don't know, you've been with the Gwaltney Group for a while. You're the newest full-time.
Correct. Yep, that's correct. I actually joined the Gwaltney Group about 4 years ago and have been selling real estate on a part-time basis that entire time, and decided recently that I wanted to do this full-time.
Okay. What were you doing with the other parts of the day when you weren't selling real estate?
Yep. For the past almost 16 years, I've been working in a variety of roles at Mayo Clinic, and spent the majority of my career in quality improvement and process improvement, and in a variety of roles over that time. That's one of the great things about Mayo Clinic. In a large organization like that, you can have really different roles over a few years, and so that was fun. But July 1st, I retired from Mayo Clinic, and I started working full-time real estate the following week.
So obviously you've been living here in the Rochester area for quite some time. Have you been at Mayo for 16 years? Are you local, or are you from another part of the world?
Yeah, actually, pretty much local, southern Minnesota, over by Blue Earth and Albert Lee, Minnesota, a little town called Bryceland.
Oh, sure.
And much of my family still lives in that area. But my wife and I moved here shortly after we got married. And so she started working at Mayo Clinic in 1995, and so we've been in the area that entire time.
Okay, were you said 16 years, so you must have been doing something else before you joined Mayo.
Right. So I had a stint with Gold Cross Ambulance. I'm a paramedic by training, and then I worked into the training division, and then was a regional manager for them, and then I worked for the Rochester Fire Department for 5 years as their administrative services manager. So, and then came to the clinic.
That's why I recognized your name from news releases.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. That was part of my role at Rochester Fire, was to write press releases and public information, that sort of thing.
So what got you interested in real estate?
Well, it's been part of my actual, what I call a retirement plan for a number of years, actually. I knew that I needed something to stay active and to really have bring purpose to my life beyond and during retirement, and real estate just seemed to fit that from a scalability aspect, or flexibility, and I just really enjoyed that entire process. I enjoyed learning about it, and then the more I did it, the more I enjoyed it, and so here I am working full-time real estate. So it's certainly a drastic career change for me, having worked in emergency services and then into healthcare administration for a number of years. But it's fun. It's exciting to be able to learn new things, but then also to work with first-time home buyers and second-time buyers as well, and just help them through the entire process. There's lots of ups and downs and twists and turns and curves that can happen during a transaction, and it's the ability to guide people through that is very interesting and rewarding.
That's why I describe Robin as a guide.
Mm-hmm.
And is there any commonality that you found with your past careers and what you're doing now with real estate?
There is certainly there's a process through all of this, and there's many steps, and details matter. So I think those are commonalities really among every job I've been at. Their details matter, timing matters, follow through matters, and certainly. Having a real estate agent that's on top of your transaction and knowing exactly what's going on, but then also can educate and provide good information and good counsel to them, or advice along the way is helpful. Yeah,
I bet that with the quality assuredness part, that's really part of the making sure everything is checked.
Exactly.
And double checked.
Exactly. Yeah. The details matter each and every transaction. So we have to make it right every time.
You mentioned first-time home buyers and second-time home buyers, but I guess for most members of the team I've chatted with over the past couple of years, it's that first-time buyer that they really love to work with. Is that kind of the same situation with you, or are you just? I mean, I imagine it's the smiles they have on their face because it's such a special thing that's happening.
Oh, exactly. It tends to give you excitement and puts a smile on your faces as much as theirs. Exactly right, because they are just thrilled to finally get across the finish line, so to speak, and just excited to get into the next chapter of their life with being a new homeowner. So it's very exciting.
Is there any niche that you really like to concentrate on? A special price range of home, or I don't even know what I'm getting at, but is there some focus that you have as a member of the group that makes you kind of stand out?
Not at this time.
Okay.
I don't think I'm wide open to a wide variety of buyers and sellers, and so I work with a lot of folks, and I think I bring a fair amount of life experience to the table, and working with my clients, I can relate to them in a lot of different ways, and so I think that's helpful.
I bet the Mayo Clinic experience as well, because I imagine just by sheer numbers, the odds are pretty good you're going to be working with somebody who is employed by Mayo.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good.
Some shared experiences there.
Yeah, and you do get to know people, and I think that's one of the important things with real estate is, and particularly working with the Gwaltney Group, we really want to develop long-term relationships with people. It's important for us to ensure the transaction goes smoothly, but again, long-term, we're looking to maintain a friendship with these people and contacts and continue to know and be part of their lives way beyond just the sale of the home.
One thing else I've noticed about the Gwaltney Group is you're a tight-knit group. You guys seem to act almost like a family in some ways.
We do. It's certainly beyond just a slogan or a motto, but Absolutely, and I felt that right away with Robin and Scott, that members of the team really are treated like family members, and we look to each and every one of our clients as our friends, and we want to maintain those friendships over time, not just get through the transaction and be done. We want to continue to be part of their lives.
So if somebody is listening now and thought, gosh, he sounds like a great guy to work with. Is there, you have a phone number or something like that we can throw out to have folks contact you, Jeff?
Absolutely. I'm at 507-358-7073.
All right.
I'd be happy to help anyone buy or sell their next home.
Well, welcome to the Gwaltney team, and thanks for chatting with us.
All right, super. Thank you.
All right. We'll be back. We'll talk some more with Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results when we return on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM.
Today, I'm taking it to the streets to give people the good news. Oh, excuse me. Hello. I'm Flo from Progressive, and did you know...
No, I'm just waiting for the bus.
So then you have time to hear about how with Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance.
Yeah, if I was interested in talking to you, which I'm not.
Okay, I'll do the talking, and you just check if you can be saving, which is going to be pretty hard to do if you put on your headphones. Okay.
See if you're paying too much for home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
9 FM. This is Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Robin Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results rejoins us.
Yeah.
That was nice talking to Jeff.
Isn't he awesome? We're so excited.
And ends up, I knew I recognized his name from when he worked for the fire department.
Got it. Yeah, he's awesome.
So, before we started the program this morning, you and I were chatting, and you had mentioned that listings are up. Do you have any listings?
I do. And, I want to say real quickly, I know we're almost out of time, but typically we'll start to see listings wind down at this time of the year because it's more like they come on in the spring.
Right.
That is not going to be the case. I mean, everything is showing that listings are staying strong. We're getting more and more. Nationwide, the inventory is sitting at 2.5 months worth of houses, which is up.
That's
there was
normal.
There were a few times that you and I talked about 2 weeks worth of inventory. So it's not like, oh gosh, now I missed the boat. It's still a very, very healthy market, but I have 3 new ones I'd like to talk about real quick.
Fantastic.
I've got a nice little town home that's a short walk to St. Mary's Hospital. It's at 1707 Walden Lane Southwest.
Okay, I know where that's at.
Yeah, it's a small little group of townhomes. It's got a lot of space in it, really. I mean, it was built back in 1980, but it's 3 beds, 3 baths, and a 2-car garage, and it's got just about 2,400 square feet of living space. So very nice. They just got a new roof last week, so yeah, awesome. And that is $279,900. Available to see and available to move into because it is vacant and ready to roll. I have another one that's quite affordable. It's 5925 Highway 63 South, and this one is a 3-bed, 2-bath, tuck-under ranch, okay? And it has a 1-car garage, but then it also has this great big building, extra building. So the 1-car tuck-under and then the extra building. That house has just about 1,900 square feet. And it is $269,900 if I didn't already say that.
No, you didn't. Okay. And that's with the pole building that can...
Yeah, and it also has...
Man cave, we like to call it.
Yes, a really nice man cave. Actually, the original owner used to record music in there.
Oh, really?
And that one has just under an acre, okay?
Okay.
But my crown jewel this week, I'm so excited about this listing. The address is 8991 Miller Place Lane Northwest. So it's out in that Fitzpatrick subdivision, okay?
Okay.
This house is $1,399,000. And this baby is gorgeous. It has 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, a 4-car garage plus a pre-stressed. It has a beautiful in-ground pool. It has extensive patio with a pergola in the backyard, a nice privacy fence made out of the maintenance-free decking. I mean, this house is unreal. The current owners actually bought it. It was built in 2001, and it's a big all brick on the front house, right? Wow first impression. But it was built in 2001, and when they bought it in 2014, it was quite frankly dated. So they gutted it. And when I say gutted it, they took it to the studs. They put all new wiring, all new plumbing, and completely rebuilt it. So it looks like a, beautiful new house. It does not resemble a 20-year-old house in any way, shape, or form. And this house has over 6,100 square feet of finished living square feet, and it sits on just over 2 acres. And I'm going to tell you what, not everybody can afford this one, clearly. But if you are listening and this is something you can afford, you're going to want to see it. Yes. If you're in the market for your dream home, that is.
You sold me on the 4-car garage, and then you said pre-stressed, which means all that
storage.
The garage is wide open.
My gosh. It has a gym. It has a huge bar, bigger than some hotels. It's beautiful. Both bedrooms on the upper level are en suite. So they both have big custom walk-in closets and big private bathrooms. The master's on the main, gorgeous master gas fireplace in there, gourmet kitchen, high-end appliances. I mean, you name it. They did not miss anything. It is beautiful.
It does sound like a dream home.
It's very nice.
So I imagine if I go to the Gwaltney Group webpage,
You'll find it and check out those photos.
I will.
All right.
Do that right when we're done here this morning.
Awesome.
I'm curious, that's for sure. So if you're interested in the beautiful home in the Fitzpatrick subdivision with all the goodies, or the one outside, whatever. If you're looking
anything. If you need any
sell, if you're looking to buy.
Exactly. If you need any kind of real estate advice whatsoever, whether it's help selling or help buying or just questions answered, please call me on my cell phone. That number is 507-259-4926.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Robin. Look forward to chatting with you next week. All right. Until then, this has been Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group-RE Results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.